I believe there is a huge difference between winners and losers, or successful people and unsuccessful people in this life. I believe that winners have their times that they lose, and that losers, conversely, have their times where they actually win, however seldom and however unnoticed by both themselves and others. And you know, the truth be told, the best of us have had our greatly struggling days and times where we simply could not find a big win or success out there anywhere that we looked. And you know, we are just beginning to touch upon here the difference between winners and losers. There is a mindset, there is a psychology, and there is a mental energy that is had, possessed, and in common by all big winners and successful people in this life. And please underline in common. Now, listen up to the next point, please, for you do want to hear this. The one thing that all winners and successful people do not, I repeat, do not have in common is background. For if we were to look at the recent history of just the last 100 to 150 years, you will find that some of the most successful and winning individuals in all the different fields, from sports to business to music and the arts and so forth, you would find that they came from about as varied of backgrounds that you could possibly imagine. Now, what is still the one thing that we see as to why some people succeed and others don't? Okay, now to actually see and discover this difference as to what the heck it is, we only need to proceed with three things: logic, truthfulness, and honesty. Never ever underestimate honesty, for you could actually change your whole life simply by being honest with yourself. Now, so with logic, truth, and honesty, here is what we discover. We discover that if there is a major difference between winners and losers, and if this difference is not found or dependent upon the outside world, environment, or background, then logically, truthfully, and honestly, remember, then it must exist and be dependent on and within their inside world, their mind and mindset. Now, I want to give you a first-hand personal example of all this right after I give you this next point. And that is, the difference between winners and successful people and those unsuccessful people is right in the beginning mindset of what I call dream approach. Dream approach. That is how they approach their dreams. We all have dreams. The successful people, the winning people, have dreams, to be sure. However, those who have not found any degree of success and winning in this life, they have dreams too. And of course, their dreams or wanted dreams is as worthy as anybody else's. But a funny thing happens that's really not that funny to those who can't accomplish any of their dreams. And it's not in having a dream, for if you sat down with any of them and asked them what might really make them happy in life, well, some might struggle now and then, but they'd come up with some things that they really would love to accomplish or love to have or love to possess in this world. But what happens is this. When the winning and successful people approach their dreams, they might see a whole barrage of obstacles and unlearned skills and a mountain of this in front of them before they could go over that to the wonderful pasture and valley below where their dream does live and abide. And they are unslowed and unperturbed by any of this. For they look at all that and say, well, then I will plunge in and I will march forward. I will learn this. I will learn that. I will get there. I will crawl before I walk. I will walk before I run. And I will run before I soar. Now, the people who have not had any degree of success and are found more to be on the losing side, that no one is a loser. We are born with a wonderful gift of life and breath and the ability to give out in our heart. But those people we know and they know that have not reached any success of the things they want and any winning of the things they want, what happens is not always not having a dream, but what happens is when they think of that dream and all of a sudden those different barrage of obstacles and mountains of things in front of them and skills and whatever come before them, maybe before even many of them come before them, never mind all of them, right away they shut down and shut off and turn off the dream because they say, I do not have the things to go over that mountain, I do not have those skills, and therefore it's not a dream that I could attain. And therein lies the difference. It is not outward. They could both be at the exact same starting point. They could both have the same background. As a matter of fact, the one who's not being successful could have advantages far over the one who is being successful. And they could even have some skills that the others do not have. But were they even starting at the same point zero? One keeps marching one step after the other, and they have learned in life that no matter how many steps are in front of them, you keep marching forward. You reach a time you didn't think about, and all those steps of accomplishments behind you, and you are suddenly at the top and the peak of the mountain that the other person said, I don't have that many steps of knowledge to get there, therefore I've never taken step one. And they've never known that they had just as much ability as the winner and successful person to reach the top of the mountain, that mountain that is their mountain, their dream, their passion, perhaps the very reason that they were made. And they can reach the top of that in the golden sunshine and jump and shout for joy for a life that is now worthy and fulfilled and satisfied and happy and soon willing to share all this with others, because when you accomplish more, it usually wakes up in most. It usually wakes up in most the desire to share more and more and more. And the more that you share, the more that you are given. These are just different codes that are written into the universe. It is a truth. And so I believe and know that the biggest difference between winners and losers in this life takes place in an area that is only about 4 or 5 inches apart. Behind the eyes, between the ears, behind the forehead, in the place where we choose what we think and what we do, and what we do not think and what we do not do. And therefore, the crunch of this whole difference, what I believe, and I know many others believe, the difference between winners and losers, since it takes place in the mind, is this. And it would be wise for us all to never forget it. The difference between winners and losers is a choice. A choice. A choice to be successful, or a choice to not try and overcome. Go out there and choose to have a great and successful day. Yes!